because I predict these things.
Lauren Murphy takes on Eduarda Moura this Saturday at UFC Fight Night in Nashville, Tennessee. And I'm going to be honest, I think this is a layup fight for Eduarda Moura. 11-1, looked really good, 31 years old, still in her prime, very young, taking on Lauren Murphy, who's 41 years old, hasn't fought in over 2.5 years. And her last fight was against Jessica Andrade that she lost by decision. Last win was over Miesha Tate in July of 2022. You know, and Miesha Tate didn't look the best in her last fight with, what was her name, the Russian lady? Yana Santos. So, don't really rate that win very highly. Miesha Tate's 3-1 in her last 4. And she's getting up there in age as well. So, won that by decision. And then before that, lost to Valentina Shevchenko. Did go to the 4th round with her, but ended up getting finished by ground and pound in the 4th round. Has wins over Joanne Calderwood by split decision. Several other fighters that I just don't think are very high level. Lost to Ciara Eubanks, lost to Nico Montano on The Ultimate Fighter back in the day. So Lauren Murphy, tough lady, good grappler. Just don't think she has the skills, the size, or the youth to beat somebody like Eduarda Moura, who, you know, she's very big for the division. She's 5'6" with a 66-inch reach, and Lauren Murphy is 5'5" with a 68-inch reach. So going to be 1 inch shorter, but have a 2-inch reach advantage, which I don't think is going to be substantial because I don't think she's the better striker. I don't think she's really going to outstrike Eduarda Moura, even though Eduarda Moura isn't the best striker, but I think Moura is going to be looking to get her takedowns, landing that hard right hand to close the distance and getting close on Lauren Murphy. But Eduarda Moura, you know, used to fight at 115 pounds, was having trouble making weight, now has moved up to 125. Very physical, great wrestler, submission specialist, big and strong for the division. Not the best striker. You know, in some instances in her fight, she looks like she's in slow motion, like she did against Montserrat Conella Ruiz, I think her name was. But in her last fight against Veronica Hardy, she was having her moments on the feet, stung her early with the right hand, and was just keeping her honest on the feet, getting her takedowns, and just controlling and landing good ground and pound and you know, positional control on the ground. She's kind of slow on the feet, but again, she's got a physical presence in there. She kind of uses her movement and her striking to get close, and kind of uses that forward pressure to get her takedowns. Good ground and pound, like I said, control on the ground. She'll flow on top, land strikes, look for you to kind of make mistakes, or she'll just look for openings for the submission or to land more strikes. And even if she can't get her takedowns, she's more than willing to pull guard and look to sweep people and to get on top like she did over Ruiz. So she only lost to Denise Gomez by split decision, so you could argue she won that fight, which is a really good win. You know, Denise Gomez, very dangerous on the feet, very strong, very physical, so I can excuse that loss. And looked good. Outside of that, you know, Ruiz, she dominated. Janina Silva got the first round choke on Dana White's Contender series. Outside of that, hasn't fought a lot of high-level competition on the regional scene, but she has been getting a lot of knockouts and finishes. And then beat Veronica Hardy in her last outing back in November, who, you know, Veronica Hardy is very good on the feet, moves very well. She's got a lot of experience, so it's a very respectable win. So I'm going to go with Moura in this one. I think she's just going to be too physically strong, too good in the grappling, too young. Going to have much more momentum. She's fought a lot more recently than Lauren Murphy. Lauren Murphy in the last, you know, she hasn't fought, like I said, in 2.5 years. And Moura's fought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will be her 7th fight in that same time frame. So I'm going to go with Moura. Has the youth, the physicality advantage, the submission threat. I think she's just a little bit more bigger, hits a little bit harder, and not going to have to worry about the ring rust. She's been in there much more often than Lauren Murphy has. So I'm going to go with Moura. I haven't looked at the odds. Moura is minus 650. You know, that's just crazy. So Lauren Murphy, 41 years old, could be one of her last fights. Maybe it is her retirement fight, or maybe she gets cut if she loses this one, because they would put her at 1-3 in her last 4 fights. So I'm going to go with Eduarda Moura. I think she can get a ground and pound TKO. She can get the submission, but worst comes to worst, I think she gets the decision. Thanks.